So I saw an interesting post from one of the many people I follow. This one was from Mel Robbins. So at Mel Robbins, if you don't know who she is, you might want to check her out. She's has some awesome content out there, gives some good advice, and honestly shed some light on some things that I never thought about like that, which was passion. So a lot of times you'll hear, and even myself, I've told others, find your passion and you'll never work another day in your life. And she touched on it and said, pretty much, I'm not gonna word for word anything that she said because she had a lot to talk about. But what I took from it was that's bullshit. Finding your passion is such an open, vague type of thing to tell somebody. And I smiled and laughed when she said it because I caught myself in that I've done that, because it's something that I've seen and I kind of took from it, but I didn't have my eyes open the way she kind of opened my eyes, which was finding your passion isn't something that you could just find. It's like, we're here for myself. I'm trying to coach people, mentor people, motivate people, inspire others to do more and do better and find their passion. But to tell somebody, what's your passion? Like that's the question I often get, you'll ask somebody, or me, I've asked others, what's your passion? What do you want to do? And that goes back to elementary school, middle school, high school, that same question. Some of you guys are in college or had college, and it's the same question. What do you want to do? What courses do you want to take? What do you want to specialize in? And that's the same thing as what's your passion? So she gave me a reality check. So thank you at Mel Robbins for that, you can't ask somebody what is their passion. It's more, that's something that's within them. It's an energy. It's a vibe. It's a feeling. It's, it as a person when you're doing something and you're absorbed with something in your life. You're active and you're giving yourself to it, whatever that may be, and you're happy. You're stoked. It's this feeling of accomplishment, not even monetary. It could be just, man, I really love what I'm involved with right now. It could be a group of people. It could be a charity. It could be so many different things. But that's, I think, what I took from it of wow, like that's deep, because it's not just, well, what's your passion? What do you want to do with your life? And you'll never work another day in your life, because that's too vague. It's too much to put on somebody's plate and have an expectation that they're going to understand what to do with that. Like most people were probably seeing my video when I said that, or when they see others or they see the post and it's like, okay, like that was wonderful, but what the fuck do I do with that now? And that's honestly, like, when I saw her video, that's exactly what I was like, man, that's so true. Because for myself coming up, I mean, through it all, honestly, from young to going through all, school, middle, high, did some college, outside of it, and you get asked that question often of, well, what's your passion? What do you want to do with your life? And nobody knows. Like, you don't know. Like, let's be real honest. Like, the majority of people don't know. If you would have asked me 10 years ago, if you would have asked me 7 years ago, what do you want to do with your life? I wouldn't have been able to tell you that, oh, I'm going to start a packaging company and I'm going to lead the beveraging industry and I'm passionate about that and I love it. I didn't know at that time. Honestly, for me, and again, a lot of what I always say, I can only go from my perspective, the way I have done it, what I've seen, my influences, my experiences, and looking back, I didn't find my passion. I stumbled upon my passion. I got lucky in that sense of, I was doing construction prior to when the whole bottom out for me in 2008 to 2010. I was doing construction. I broke my shoulder, came off. Then we had the economy collapse. And that put me into a place with me starting to work at a packaging company. But let me tell you, prior to 2010, when I started with that company, I was never thinking about packaging or labels or beverage or cans or anything that I'm doing today, to be quite honest. Now, not one thing in my mind was that's what I was going to do with my life, and that's what I was going to succeed at, and that's what I would do well at. Though I did have passion that I wanted to succeed, I knew I wanted to accomplish more, I knew I wanted more, I didn't know what the hell my passion was. So seeing her post, this was 2 days ago when I saw it, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it, so I want to do this video, and we're doing it in the car today just to do something different. But it was that of, wow, like, because I'm sitting here telling people when they ask me advice, and I'm asking that same question because it is a good question of what's your passion, but it's not as easy as somebody being able to say, oh, well, this is my passion, this is what I'm passionate about, this is what I want to do. It's just not the case. It's something that you'll come across, you'll learn, you'll find for yourself. It's like learning about yourself. It's an internal depth that you have to find. Like, what do you enjoy spending your time on? Where do you enjoy spending your time? How do you enjoy spending your time? So for me, when I started working in labels and packaging, I was doing wine. I wasn't passionate about wine though. Yeah, I like to have a glass of wine. I like to go to wineries. My wife loves it. It's a great experience. It's fun to do. It wasn't something I'm really deep into. So helping those customers, as great and good as I could do at my job, and I did well. We, made a lot of money. It wasn't passionate for me. It wasn't something that I woke up in the morning inspired to wake up and go to work and do what I did. But I can say once I started learning about the craft beer industry, for me, this is for me, the craft beverage industry, the canning game, a lot of things that were going on in the industry. And then I learned where there was a pain point, like, wow, like, we're doing all of this great, but that industry is hurting here, and I feel like I could do it better. And when I had that realization of I can do it better, now it's okay putting that into action. And that's when I started developing my plan, and I really came with the understanding for myself of, wow, like, my passion is, yes, helping people, but it's filling a void, fixing a problem. It wasn't just for me finding the craft beer industry, and those are awesome people to work with. They're great customers. It's a fun industry. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're sitting here, a lot of my meetings, we're sharing beers and having conversations in our meetings and things like that. So yeah, that's fun, and it's profitable and all that. But the fact of being able to help their industry grow, it's a very young market, a very young industry with beverage, with canning, and that was where I saw the fit. And when I started doing labels, which I didn't own a company yet, I started doing labels for them and really supporting their industry and helping as much as I possibly could. That's where I realized I had a passion for it. I fell in love with the industry as a whole. I fell in love with the thought of being able to support them in a way that they hadn't been supported before. I fell in love with being able to fill a void that they needed without having anybody to say so. So me having the inside look, working for somewhere else, I was able to pretty much fine tune and tailor my skill to become a master at what I do, the best at what I do, and then take it to the next level, which is do it on my own. So to a lot of you guys, I kind of wanted to retract on my statement before where I've told you, if I've told you, a lot of you guys I've talked in DMs, conversations in person, some of my videos where I'll say, find your passion, what's your passion? Find your passion and you'll never work a day in your life. I think I have a post like that on Facebook or something. And I have to come in and take some accountability thanks to Mel Robbins and say, you know what, I was wrong in that one, because you're just looking at me like, okay, that's a very vague set of advice. Like, it's not really helping any one of you guys cross that bridge and accomplish anything. So I hope this video kind of does give a little bit of a shed of more light onto it, and a little more support and help of you guys finding your passion. It might actually be something that you're already doing, that you do like what you do. You may even love what you do, but you may not love who you do it for. So that's a big eye-opener for a lot of people, where you can say, you know what, like, same for you. You can do it better. And you just have to believe in yourself enough, have that fear so far back that it's not even phasing you, to where you can take that leap and start building that plan and start taking those initiatives to start taking the action that's going to be needed for you to cross these bridges and overcome these little obstacles and succeed in whatever venture it is that you choose to take on. I just, again, not too much to dive in on it, but again, if you do want to go check out the video that I watched, which really shed some light for me, check it out. It's on at Mel Robbins page. She has a bunch of great content on there. I've learned a lot from her and a lot of others, and I'm real quick to point you guys to a lot of the people that inspire me. So in no way, if I'm not that guy for you, that's okay. Thank you for watching. But there's a lot of people out there that do amazing work, that have so much good advice to give, and are motivating, inspirational, and all that you need. So hopefully you do take some of that from me. But again, keep looking, because it is important to find yourself a mentor, a motivator, somebody that's helping you from the sideline, you know, that's not always there in person, but that's helping you with those little steps, helping you with those little bits of advice. And you got to take it for what it is in stride. Appreciate those little videos, appreciate those little inspirational photos that you'll see with some text, whether it's from me or others, because those are our little touches to try and bring value to you guys and help. A lot of us aren't out there doing this for the money. I can only speak for myself on that one, is I'm not doing any of this for money. As much as I'm giving and I'm investing a ton into buying cameras and doing this and lighting and videographer and my team and us putting this stuff out and making the time for it, the only reason I'm doing it, honestly, is to bring value and help others in my same place that I once was overcome those obstacles. That little piece of advice that you might need, that's like, oh damn, like, wow, that's a great way to put it. I didn't think about that. You know, that's what I'm hoping people will take from some of my videos. I'm always open to suggestions and feedback. You know, send me DMs, comment on my you know, posts, check out the YouTube page. And again, I actually do respond to everybody. So if what I'm doing so far isn't necessarily hitting home for you and touching you, let me know. You know, let me know, so it allows me to continue to get better. But again, a lot of this stuff is really just to bring value to you guys and help you guys overcome some obstacles. I'm blessed to have the company that I have that really does fill that void for me and carries us to where I'm able to do these types of things. My end goal with all of this, just to kind of throw it out there for you guys, so those that are watching are wondering, well, if you're not doing it for money, then why the hell do you do it? I'm honestly doing it because I would like to eventually, in time, do a lot more speaking engagements. So I would love to be that guy that you guys look to when there is an event and there's speaking events and things like that, that you'd want to come and see me talk in person, because you've seen my videos, you appreciate the content, you're motivated by what I'm doing, and that's where I would make my piece of the pie, not on you guys. And when I do those, I would actually do it differently, to where I don't want to sell courses. I don't want to sell you something at the end of the lecture. You know, I might write a book eventually of my story and things like that, and then that might be that. But again, my reason is a little different. My reason is just really because I didn't have the support, I didn't have the help when I was coming up to figure out what my passion was, to figure out these different tips of advice, to learn how to run a business. I didn't have anything or anyone. And even when I would comment on people and DM people's things that I would follow, I wouldn't get any response. So that was painful, and that took a lot longer for me to overcome and learn these things and achieve the success that I have today because of it. So my reason may be different than others. You won't see a bunch of coaching programs and things like that. You did see the mentor mind flip workshop, which, yeah, I had a small fee of $50, but simply that was just to weed out the real. I wanted the real to come, instead of, if I put it out for free, then that's just any Jack and Jill that wants to walk in and really wasting my time, as well as wasting others that attended. So again, yeah, just want to touch on this video today. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Stay hungry, stay grinding out there, and let me know how I can help support you guys. Frank Visionary.